The Amazing Spider-Man, Issue 41, The Horns of the Rhino. The Amazing Spider-Man, The Horns of the Rhino. Beginning a great new era in the ever-changing life of the world's most amazing web spinner. See the return of Betty Brant and the startling result that follows. See the surprise appearance of J. Jonah Jameson's astronaut son. See the most exciting new purchase Petey ever made. See Spidey fight the Rhino, most fearsome villain of all. Most superhero thrillers open with contrived action in order to hook you, but we know you'll hang around to prove our faith in you. Let's visit Aunt May. I'm so glad you dropped in, Anna. So am I, May dear. There's nothing like having some tea and a talk with a good friend. Besides, I've been wanting to ask you something. Now that my niece, Mary Jane, took an apartment of her own, why don't you sell this house and move in with me? It would mean such a saving for you, and we'd be company for each other. Anna May Watson, if you aren't the dearest thing, then you'll do it? I'd love to, dear, but I just couldn't. There'd be no one to look after poor Peter. But May, he's almost 20, he's going to college. He even earns a living by selling news photos. But I'm the only relative he has. The dear boy is so dependent upon me. You know how frail and fragile he is. If I weren't around to be sure he eats a balanced diet and wears warm clothes, I don't know what would happen. I suppose you know best, dear. Well, thank you for the tea, May. I'm afraid I must run along now. If Peter Parker were my nephew, I'd try to make him more independent. But he's probably the type that likes to be mollycoddled. After struggling through the last 4 panels, you can be sure of one thing. Our story can't possibly move any slower from now on. So, let's say we join May Parker's fragile nephew now. I've made up my mind. I'll take it. After seeing you in here every day for a month, I kind of thought you would. I suppose I can finance it. Certainly, Parker, so long as the bank approves the loan. We'll need a credit reference, of course. Oh, that won't be any problem. I've been selling photos to Jonah Jameson for years. I'm sure he'll vouch for me. Why not call him now while I drop the papers? Sure, I don't want to waste a minute. I want those wheels so bad I can taste it. That's a few seconds later. Parker, why in blazes haven't you brought me any photos this week? If you think... What? You want me to buy a cycle and expect me to recommend you for the bank loan? You dialed the wrong number, kid. Try looking up Santa Claus. Anything wrong, Dad? Nah, just some pest. But come to think of it, if he has a debt to pay off, he'd have to sell me more pictures, and I can buy them cheaper than ever from him. Tell you what, Parker, even though everyone says I'm too generous for my own good, I'll do it for you. Wow, great. Yeah, great. The trouble with me is I'm too soft-hearted. I'm always doing favors for everyone. I'm just a big bundle of good-natured jelly. But nobody ever appreciates it. It just doesn't pay to be a nice guy. The trouble with me is I'm too sweet. That reminds me, it's time I was roasting Spider-Man's hide in an editorial again. Spider-Man? What have you got against him, Dad? Don't you remember how he rescued me a few years ago? As a matter of fact, I never did thank him. Don't remind me of it. He never saved you. You didn't need any help from him. He just took the credit for it, that glory-hogging itch. Ah, Dad, you gotta be kidding. I never kid. But don't you remember the day when my capsule lost its guidance system packet? It began plunging to Earth, hopelessly out of control. The space agency had no way of saving me until they gave the small packet to Spider-Man, who commandeered a military jet. This will be my first and last chance. If it doesn't work, look out below. I couldn't see the whole thing, but what happened next is history. I did it. Now if I could just hang on. And hang on he did, with that amazing spider power of his, skillfully putting the guidance packet back in position. Capsule under manual control again. We'll eject chute and land immediately. I'll never forget that day, Dad. Just as I'll never forget that it was Spider-Man who made my safe landing possible. Boy, the Joe inside this capsule is the real hero. Unfortunately, for reasons best known to himself, Spider-Man fled before anyone could find him or could thank him. I'd better make myself scarce now. I never thought my own son would be taken up by such a cheap publicity stunt. Publicity stunt? Naturally, that blasted wall crawler sabotaged your capsule himself in order to make everyone think he's a hero by later saving you. Dad, who told you such a ridiculous story? Nobody. I made it up. Nobody had to tell me. I can spot a phony actor when I see one. Why must I be haunted, hounded, plagued by that sneaky, creepy, rotten, no-good masked menace of all my life? Why doesn't someone catch him, defeat him, squash him against the wall, anything, so long as I get him out of my life? Do you realize that if not for me and my courageous editorials, people would start making a hero out of that lowlife? I have to keep reminding them in my paper that he is a cowardly crook, hiding behind masks to escape justice. And still they doubt me. There are actually lunatics who admire him. Dad, do you think you're really being fair to Spider-Man? Fair? What's that got to do with anything? He's the one who robbed you of all your full share of glory from that space flight. But that's water under the bridge now. I've made many flights since then. Why not forget about Spider-Man? That's the best idea I've heard all day. Tell me about yourself, John. Well, Dad, the reason I came home on this sudden leave is a strange thing happened on my last space mission. What do you mean? What strange thing? NASA didn't release a shred of information about your flight. I know, they couldn't. Couldn't? They had to make sure the space spores wouldn't be harmful to Earth first. Space spores? What space spores? Since the information has just been declassified, I can tell you now. At the apogee of my orbit, after completing my spacewalk, when I re-entered the capsule, I found that some mysterious spores had drifted inside with me. Even after splashdown, they clung to my spacesuit, then later to my body. They seem harmless enough, but I was subjected to intensive tests for days, and everything appeared to check out A-OK. The spores themselves grew weaker and weaker and finally just faded away. They could be released now. The spores are completely gone. But they may have an effect upon him that won't show up until later. He must be kept under guard for at least 6 months. Certain nations would give anything to examine him behind the Iron Curtain. From that moment on, I've been under continual surveillance. Armed agents accompany me everywhere. How long will you fellows be playing nursemaid to me? Until we can be absolutely sure those spores didn't affect you anyway, Colonel. Because if they did, you'd be a prize catch for any hostile nation on Earth. You see, Dad, the space agency medics gained invaluable information by studying those spores and my reactions to them. Information that may give us the boost we need in the space race. Which is why there are 2 agents outside the door right now. Another team ready to relieve them every 6 hours. But even as Jonah St. Jameson is struck speechless, for one of the few times in his life, an event is transpiring many miles away. At our southernmost border, an event such as destined to seriously affect the lives and the safety of our colorful little cast of characters. At last, after all the long months of waiting, preparing, counting every minute and hour, it's finally time for the Rhino to strike. Hey, Sam, what in the name of creation do you call that? I don't know, but whatever it is, it's not getting past the border checkpoint till we find out. Looks to me like it's just some nut in a rhinoceros mask. Okay, mister, hold it up right there. Hold it, I said. He's trying to make it past us. Come back, or we shoot. He's not stopping him. Let him have it. Holy cow, the slugs bounced right off him. Look out, he's changed direction. He's starting to charge right toward us. He's picking up speed with every step. Our guns are useless, so we got to grab him. We have to try and... Hearing the sounds of gunfire and the deafening stomp of the rhino's charge, additional guards quickly reach the scene only to find, look, whatever that is, he's crushing right through the concrete blockhouse. Yes, tried and true Marvelites won't need a building to fall on them in order to know that their friendly neighborhood Spider-Man will soon be in for one of the toughest fights of his entire crime-smashing career. And so, the world has been given its first introduction to the matchless menace of the unstoppable Rhino. But now we must earnestly request that you prepare yourself for a sudden surprise as we switch our scene back to New York, where we find an unusually cheerful Peter Parker wrapped in his own happy thoughts. Just can't wait to get my hands on that little two-wheeled tornado. I'll bet riding it is almost as groovy as web swinging. And then, as so often happens in this unpredictable world of ours, completely by accident, totally unexpected, a chance meeting. Betty! Peter! It's really you! Gosh, what a wonderful surprise. I didn't even know you were in town. I wasn't till a few minutes ago. I just arrived. You certainly look well, Peter. After all these months, that's all she can say. Although I can't think of anything better to say. Would you like a cup of coffee? Well, yes, that would be nice. Did you have a nice time on the coast? Yes, I did, thanks. Is everything all right with you and your Aunt May? Oh, sure, we're just fine. What's wrong? What's happened between us? We're like two strangers groping for words. How was everything at the Bugle, Peter? Okay, I suppose. Jonas Jameson has been as grouchy as ever. Yes, I imagined he would be. Oh, brother, this is sheer torture. And I'll bet it's just as tough for her. All these months I thought about her, dreamt about her, longed for her. So now she's returned, and Nothingsville. Whatever we had before, whatever there was between us, it's gone. Next, I'll be asking if she's read any good books lately, if only. Hi, Pete. I thought I saw you from the window. Betty Brant. Am I dreaming or... Oh, hi, Ned. Ned Leeds. I'd know your voice anywhere. Betty, I can't tell you how glad I am to see you. It's so good to see you too, Ned. I've thought about you so often. We've so much to talk about. I don't know where to start. I never thought I'd be so glad to see old Ned. Look, you two. I just remembered I have an appointment. I'm afraid I have to run off now. Oh, that's too bad, Peter. Who's she kidding? Betty's as glad to see me go as I am for the chance to escape. Don't apologize on my account, fella. Once I thought I couldn't live without her. Now she's just another girl named Betty. Boy, have I grown up in these past few months. I'll give you a ring later on sometime. Here? Yes, Peter, you do that. That sinks it. She feels the same way I do. She didn't even bother to give me her new address. See you around, Pete. I realize now we never had anything in common. It's just that she was the first girl I ever thought I loved. But these months away from her... Say, what's that? Bulletin. These are the first news pictures to be released for television of the new, indescribably dangerous, and seemingly unstoppable menace who calls himself the Rhino. After crashing through every roadblock, he appears to be headed directly towards New York. The Rhino? Boy, if he's half as tough as he looks. Wow, I'll bet you the Rhino is the strongest guy in the whole world. You kidding? He comes here, old Spider-Man will make mincemeat out of him. Yeah, that'll be the day. If he does reach the city, I probably will have to pit my spider powers against his own brute strength. But it sure wouldn't break me up if he changes direction and lets someone else tackle him. Say, isn't that Jonah Jameson over there? The colonel with him looks familiar to me. Of course, it's his son, the astronaut I rescued a few years ago as Spider-Man. Hi, Mr. Jameson. I want to thank you for helping me get my loan at the bank. Someone's calling you, Dad. Someone? It's only Peter Parker. Hold on, young fella. That's as far as you go. Huh? What's wrong? Who are you? Don't you know federal agents when you see them, Parker? So long, Dad. See you at the hotel later on. Federal agents? Naturally. My son is an astronaut. His safety is vital to this country. I followed his orbits on TV along with everyone else. You must be awfully proud. You're blank right, not proud. He's a real hero. Not like that phony fraud Spider-Man. Oh boy. I'd better change the subject. Anyway, Mr. Jameson, I appreciate you vouching for me at the bank. When I get my cycle, I'll be able to take more photos for you than ever. Okay, you're breaking my heart. Just make sure you get some pics of the rhino if he comes this way. That's all. That's a relief. I was afraid you'd ask for something hard. Haha, big joke. Minutes later, a thoughtful Peter Parker approaches his modest home in Forest Hills. I wonder why those federal agents were guarding JJ's son. It must have something to do with a secret phase of our space program. I just realized, how is Aunt May going to take the news of my new bike? Hi, Aunt May. Guess what? I just made a down payment on a new motorcycle. Oh, that's nice, Peter dear. I hope you'll drive it carefully. Holy smoke, she didn't even bat an eye. She must have something else on her mind. I wonder what it is. Mrs. Watson came to visit earlier, Peter. We had the nicest chat. Good. What did you talk about? Well, actually, she wanted to know if I'd... Oh, pshaw. It was this woman talk. It wouldn't interest you. Well, I guess she'll tell me in her own good time. Gee, now that I'm not a kid any longer, how'd I love to have my own apartment. But how could I leave Aunt May all alone? If only there was someone to look after her. Wish I could slip into my Spidey suit and do some rooftop swinging to clear away the cobwebs. But I'd better get to work on my term paper instead. But study comes hard when 1,000 scattered thoughts keep intruding. Can't wait to pick up my new bike. Wonder why those agents were guarding Jonah's son. Will I never be able to have an apartment of my own? How could I ever have thought Betty was the girl for me? Will the rhino reach New York? And what's he after? Notice the sneaky way we change our scenes. Using Pete's last thought as a springboard, let's visit a sprawling railroad yard on the city's outskirts. You're right, Charlie. There's someone moving inside the car. End of the line, Matt. This ain't a hobo hotel. Hey, that's no ordinary bindle stiff. New York at last. It's time the rhino. Stop him. It's a rhino, stop him. My slugs bounce right off him. Call the precinct, Charlie. Tell him the guy's bulletproof. I'll tell him all right, but what'll they do about it? Can't waste time with them. My mission comes first. Quick quiz. If you were Spider-Man trying to concentrate on a problem in advanced calculus, what would you do if the radio suddenly blared out, "Bulletin, the rampaging rhino has just been sighted on New York's west side. All citizens are urged to..." The rhino? Nobody's safe while he's at large. We suspect you'd do just what Peter Parker is doing. If ever it was a time for a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to make the scene, this is it. I don't know what the rhino's after, but it must be something big to bring him halfway across the country. Or am I just convincing myself of that because I want to go into action again? Well, what's the diff, so long as they stop him. Meanwhile, at Lieutenant Colonel Jameson's hotel suite, "Dad, listen, did you hear that? It sounded like gunfire." We can't stop him. He's gonna... Colonel Jameson, look out. It's the... Great Caesar's ghost. What's going on up there? Take cover, Dad. This could be serious. It's the Rhino. He got past the guards. He's after me. Seconds later, the piercing wail of police sirens leads our wall-crawling wonder to a midtown hotel. Squad cars conversing across the street. Hope I'm not too late. The police are racing into the hotel, heading for... Uh-oh, this must be it. I don't care if he is bulletproof. He took my son. Easy, Mr. Jameson. He won't get away. We're throwing a cordon around the entire city. Hold it. I've got Washington on the phone. That's all I need to know. The Rhino was after Jameson's son. That's why the guards. He can't have gotten far. With luck, I'll spot him from up here. Or maybe I'll be luckier if I don't spot him. There he is, carrying Colonel Jameson as though he was weightless. He'll be gone by the time the police get here, so it's up to old Spidey again. Well, here goes nothing. Brother, he not only looks like a rhino, I feel like I've just been butted by one. Spider-Man, you are a fool. This wasn't your fight, but you brought it on yourself. He's charging right at me. Wow, if I'd been a second slower, he'd be going through that wall with me. He's not even hurt. He just seems madder than ever. Now look, hardhead, you can't run around putting holes in walls that way. Think how drafty you're making it for the people inside. Not as drafty as I'm going to make it for you. Has anyone ever told you you're antisocial? He's safely away from Jonah's son now, so I can let myself go. In case you didn't know it, I'm exactly a 57-pound weakling myself. Or maybe I am. He didn't seem to feel it. When bullets can't hurt me, do you think your puny blow would have any effect? It had some effect, all right. It darn near broke my hand. Look, Ronnie, your strength can never match my spider speed, so why don't we talk things over? For starters, how about telling me what you want with Colonel Jameson? There's nothing that I want with him, but there are other countries who will pay me a fortune for delivering him. Just as I suspected, it does have something to do with the space race. Uh-oh, he's faster than I thought. Caught me unawares that time. Your spider speed can't help you now against my... Does your costume itch? Something must be making you so irritable. Oof. I wonder if he was bitten by a radioactive Sherman tank. For crying out loud, what does it take to stop you? You'll forgive me if I don't wait for an answer. Can't face a charge like that. I gotta move. And move he does, as only Spidey can. Sirens, the police are on the way, but they won't reach here for another few minutes. Hey, Ronnie, wouldn't it have been easier just to drop a dime in the slot? Mock me, will you? You'll live to regret that. So far, so good. In his rage, he's forgotten about Jonah's son. If I can just keep him busy until the riot squad arrives. Nobody has ever made a fool of the Rhino. No? What about the clown who designed those goofy threads of yours? Careful, Spidey, he's getting set to charge again. I'll get you off that perch, you stupid, smirking string bean. Why didn't you just ask? I was leaving anyway. No matter where you climb to, I can always shake you down. There's more truth than poetry in what he says. One thing's pretty obvious. I sure can't hurt him. My only chance is to tire him out, if I can dodge him while I'm doing it. Okay, Ronnie, come and get it. I'm through running now. So here's where I knock you into the middle of next week. Just stay where you are, Spider-Man. That's all I ask. Just stay where you are. I kind of thought that would get a rise out of him. Sure, Hornhead, I'll stay. Of course, I won't promise not to sidestep a little as you go frolicking by. Ah, clumsy me. I went and made you trip, pussycat. Poof. Blast it. I was careless again. I forgot he's not as slow as he looks. Now I've got you. For shame, Ronnie. That line went out with the perils of Pauline. Today's swinging villains are far more introspective. Oh, by the way, pardon my webbing. So you think a few strands of puny webbing can hold the rhino? Maybe not, but this is as good a time as any to find out. But take it easy, huh? That stuff's expensive. Come to think of it, if you want to break the webbing, maybe this'll help. Nuts. You don't even have enough sense to fall down when you get your lumps. That blow was a little slower. He's finally beginning to tire, I hope. All I want to do is smash you once. Just once. Uh-huh. No fair. Kickies don't count. You can't stay out of my reach forever. But I'm sure gonna try. He's off balance again. This is my chance. I've got to find out, is he a human powerhouse wearing a nutty costume? Or is he just some ordinary Joe who gets his power from those duds? Heads up, Ronnie. This'll be a doozy. If this doesn't shake you loose from that horned beanie hat of yours, then I may have to find myself a new hobby. I wonder if I really do this to preserve justice and to safeguard the human race? Or is it just that I love to hear the crazy sound effects? You'll never be able to. Behind the rhino, Jonah's son is starting to recover. That's a relief. At least he wasn't badly hurt. And here come the police, right on cue. Hold it, fellas. Save your bullets. You won't be needing them. John, you're all right, boy? Sure, Dad, I'm okay. What's everyone standing around for? You've got the rhino. Now, here's your chance to make it a double play. Grab the wall crawler also. On what charge, Mr. Jameson? Charge, Marge. He's a fink. Takes one to know one, mister. That does it. I'll sue you for slander. Nobody could slander you. If Big Mouth spouts off long enough, he'll convince them I'm a one-man crime wave. So I'd better cut out now. But there's one thing really worrying me. How are they going to keep the rhino in jail after they get him in there? It's amazing. We couldn't get that rhino suit off him. Well, I'll have to lock him up wearing it. But what happens when he comes to? He might crash right out through the walls. We'll worry about that when the time comes. Imagine that web-slinging weasel getting away scot-free. But Dad, he caught the rhino and probably saved me. Baloney. He was just out to save his own scrawny neck. Maybe so, Dad. But if not for Spider-Man, the rhino would have probably delivered me to the highest bidder among the other hostile world powers. Well, let me tell you something. For all we know, that masked menace wanted to grab you away from the rhino so he himself could capture you. I don't trust any so-called superheroes, and least of all that blankety-blank web-shooting creep. Dad, take it easy. Think of your blood pressure. If only I could prove he's no good. I've got to return to the Cape now, Dad. Try to calm down and forget about Spider-Man. Spider-Man? I'll never give that lowlife a thought. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't even exist. Spider-Man? Who's he? Never heard of him. Meanwhile, I can't stop worrying about the rhino. We know so little about him. If only I knew his origin, how he got his power, and if he has any weaknesses. Next time he'll be a lot harder for me to handle. Maybe if I study the photos I took. Oh no, I forgot to set my automatic camera. That means no pics. But our hero's chagrin vanishes the next day as he takes possession of his new cycle. Enjoy it, Parker. Just what I aim to do, Mr. Kraft. At last, I could get somewhere in a hurry without having to switch to my Spider-Man identity. Look, Pete latched onto a pair of wheels. Maybe he's turning human. Pete, wait a minute. My little cheering section. How do you like her, Gwen? A knockout, Pete. Just like you are, Gwendolyn. Was I ever so wrapped up in Betty that I couldn't see this living pin-up under my nose? Something tells me my luck is about to change. Actually, I never thought of you as the motorcycle type before, Pete. You didn't? Why not? Oh, I don't know. She almost looks disappointed. Lady, there's a lot you don't know about me. But stick around, I'm planning to educate you. Peter Parker, what on earth has changed you so? Nothing, Gwen. Maybe the real me is just beginning to break through. Those eyes, those lips, she's too much. Say, doll, what's with Mr. Bookworm these days? Whatever it is, Flash, why don't you get friendly with him? Maybe some of it will rub off on you. The way Pete looked at me, like he was seeing me for the first time. Look, May, here comes your nephew. That must be the new motorcycle he bought himself. I suppose so, Anna. I do hope riding in the open that way won't affect his sinuses. Hi, Aunt May. There it is. Isn't she a beaut? I suppose so, Peter, dear. It's a real pussy willow. No, May. The expression is pussycat. Well, Peter knows what I mean. What I meant, you've been such a wonderful boy that I'm glad you got your motorcycle, if that's what you wanted. Thanks, Aunt May. You're a real pussy willow. Looks like you started something, May Parker. Well, I have to leave now. But don't forget, you and Peter are coming to my house for dinner Sunday night. Of course, Anna dear, I'm so anxious for Peter to meet your niece, Mary Jane. Uh-oh. And no excuses this time, young man. Poor Mary Jane has been waiting to meet you for months. I guess I'll just save it to get it over with once and for all. Sure, Aunt May, I'll be there. Wouldn't it be funny if she's a real doll? Ah, come on, Mr. Parker. Stop daydreaming. You know there isn't a chance. The end.